I
There
can
is a
if I
point.
have to.
Gogor, I think you haven't done many recaps. I think we've heard that a few times, haven't we?
Hmm?
So,
Yeah, I've
so
had
maybe
excuses.
maybe you go ahead and do this one.
Sure. Last time we started out in Highgarden, and we had a meeting with the Longthorn, who was in a not very good mood because Bitterbridge had been attacked by the army of mercenaries heading down from the east. And in this attack, they had broken through the gate and almost captured the bridge here on the first attack. So he told us to set out and mount whatever defense we could until the main army could arrive from Highgarden, which is still mustered. So we, doomed to our fate, we decided to drink a bunch and get lost in the maze and lose our armor, and everything was terrible for a while. There was an idea to bring the Westerlanders along that Vern tried to get across to the others, but it didn't really happen until the next day. So hungover, we set out towards Bitterbridge, which we arrived at, and met the commander, or the lord of Bitterbridge, which I don't remember the name of. He was in a very depressed mood, and they don't really feel there's a chance of defending here, which I'm not really sure of either. We'll try to do our best. We set some plans for what to do in the defense, and hopefully it will not go horribly. I don't know what the other characters have been doing because I haven't really seen their secret mission or whatever it was.
The lord of this castle, to add to that, is Lord Armand Caswell. And yeah, he certainly hasn't been very visible. He doesn't probably not believe in this defense a whole lot. Yeah, if you weren't here, his time would probably be a lot better because he wouldn't have to be besieged anymore. But it has been a few days since we basically left off last time. About 4 days have gone by. You have not been attacked yet, and you spent the time deliciously trying to get these troops into a decent sort of watch schedule and regiment, and bring them together instead of having these fractured units with no officers and whatnot. You've managed to build your little sort of moats of not moats, little piles of rubble and such, and make them sturdy enough that the people are going to have to probably crawl over them more so than knock through them, which is nice. You all probably spent the time really preparing for the attacks to come, though some of you haven't really been in the castle at all. I believe Alaric has received some messages stating that both Kievan and Bree have left the camp, but surely would be back before any attacks happened. Surely. No worries. As such, perhaps, a little more attention has been paid to the enemy camp now that there is a decent watch schedule. And there certainly are some things to see. As the days have progressed, more guard patrols have begun wandering the sort of perimeter of the camp, and they also seem to have been less and less jubilant, maybe running out of alcohol or just getting a little tired of the constant drinking and partying that they were doing. The thing that doesn't change is that sort of sinister, creeping, just smell of death and decay that sort of runs from the camp, constantly bellowing over the low plains. Maybe it's this place in particular, or maybe it's this besieging camp, or the dead that must be still laying somewhere, little pieces of human flesh from when the attack happened. But there's just this constant sense and smell of decay. Not helping that, probably, is that the weather has been actually very nice, or maybe not even nice. It has been very sunny, very hot. And although you, most of you anyway, are used to a lot worse heat from going through the mountains, the poor soldiers here are not used to this. Usually there's a nice breeze running across the plains along the Mander. Not these days. No rain, really, either. Then again, the morale of the defending forces here is already abysmal. Many of them would likely just throw down their weapons if they saw the enemy host moving. The lack of faith their lord has shown in them is shattering whatever illusion they had that they might be able to live through a battle. From time to time, you all get glances, few and they're quickly averted, but you know that the thought is in there, slowly spreading. Who do they have the greater chance to defeat? 10,000 enemies, or a few sleeping knights? On the 4th day, a slight change happens. Another day of waiting, perhaps, but a call arises, as the sun does too. The enemy camp! It is smaller than yesterday! The call is followed by others, catching a rare moment of optimism. They've left! The enemy is fighting amongst themselves! They're leaving! Soon, however, this moment is drowned in the usual, at this point, cynical attitude. As the gods wake up, you'll see, tomorrow those men will be across the Mander. They've broken one of the fords. That's the only reason they would move so many men away. As the day grows brighter, the two had gone to investigate the camp, creep closer along the water's edge most likely, managing to enter the rubbled gatehouse without being spotted, really. Kevin and Bree, I don't know who comes home first, but the one who does, well, what do you look like as you crawl over the rubble in the gatehouse?
Considering how it transpired, I'd have to say that's Kevin.
I would think so too.
Sure. When Kevin skulks into the gatehouse, he looks, he's panting, he is dirty. It is obvious that he has been in some kind of a tussle, and, he and also probably run quite fast, or quite a lot, quite recently. Some of his clothes are frayed, and you probably see that he's wearing like enemy, like mercenary clothes as he comes closer. Although, like approaching the gate, as he would probably have just tossed them aside, or at least taken them off so you can see that it's him and don't shoot him. And then he'll sort of, I don't know if we don't have gates really, so depending on who's up on the gatehouse, he'll just wave and then sort of hurriedly make his way through.
Intruders!
Intruder! Shoot him! Oh, wait, no, it's Kevin. It's fine. Don't worry. You guys in the case.
He comes in. Looks around. For people, basically.
Just put these guys in place.
How do I, and I guess climb over this? How do we...
Yeah.
It is difficult terrain, so double movement.
Yeah.
It's like piles of crap that's been taken to
There's
the
some
houses.
chairs everywhere.
There was a small like opening here though, right? Or
Not currently, but we can make one.
Kevin will sink down in one of the chairs that is, making up this barricade. That's a
Oh god, very big hole.
That's a big hole.
That's a very big hole. Halve it.
Half the hole.
Halve the hole. Make it like a Hugo wide. There we go.
yes.
A Hugo hole.
A Hugo hole. There we go.
All right.
Yeah.
That's good.
Perfect.
Love it.
Yeah, he will sit down, and then he'll basically wipe his brow of sweat, look up to the others and say, "Well, that was something. That kind of worked, I guess."
I assume there is some story for why you look worse than when we fought Shadowgate.
Well, I kind of had to get out a bit quickly. Had to kill a man, too, and then it kind of spotted me and I had to run. So he sinks down. He looks absolutely drained. Honestly, I don't really know exactly how I got away. There was a lot of them after me, but something, I don't know, it's just felt like I had wings. He smiles slightly. Wipes his brow. Looks for water somewhere.
Yeah, about to say, Ren comes over, like, drawing his water skin from his belt.
Yep, he'll take it, drink heavily from it, and then just pour it all over his face. To cool off. And he'll say, I have some things to report, Alaric. But I need to take a bit of a breather, if that's okay.
Alaric nods, frowning still.
Have you seen Bree?
He thinks and says, I might have. It's I thought I saw her in the camp, and I heard talk of what I assume was her handiwork. She has been doing a bit of terrorizing, it seems. He smiles.
Wow.
Yes, the only smile to ever come from mentioning that.
Yep. But give me an hour or two, all right? He'll sort of get up, hobble away, go to wherever we sleep. Like, is this where we sleep, or are we sleeping like back in?
We're sleeping like in here.
Yeah, I might just sleep in that building.
Yeah, there's no point in
It's a nice big tavern/inn, so.
Yeah.
We'll shoulder keep him there.
Yeah, Kevin will spend an hour or so cleaning himself up and dressing himself up in his proper gear again.
Right.
Do not worry yourself too much, Alaric. Bree is resourceful after all. I'm sure she's fine.
In that case, that gives enough time for Bree to pursue the return angle that she was looking to follow, if that's all right, Malachi.
Yeah, go ahead.
Then Bree, after that, who can tell's precise time, right? We don't have a grandfather clock, so it's not like we know how to tell time, and we can't use the sun. Bree, well, perhaps one of the small guards, well, not small guards, one of the, they're inferior, they're small, why not call them small? One of these small guards will hear, excuse me, sir, can you throw down a rope for me, please? Down at the base of the northern wall would be the 5'3" Brienne Caladan, wearing a satchel, a small carrying bag, and nothing else. She looks exhausted, as if she has not slept since before the group arrived in Bitterbridge. But her eyes, her cold eyes, shine with arrogance and confidence. And there is the smirk of, God, I hope you do something that's stupid up there, guard, so I can kill you.
The guard looks down. Have they been informed that these people have left the camp to go to the enemy camp, Alaric?
Yes.
Yes. All right, then he will hurry to go and fetch a rope, which he will throw over the edge,
All right.
trying to avert his eyes from what is.
Yes, and Bree will slowly begin to use her exhausted muscles to pull herself up.
Sure, he'll stand and sort of lean against the side here, ribbing the robe around it so it doesn't fall down. The crenellation. As he basically calls out, "The lady is back. Someone fetch us some clothes."
Bree sort of slumps over the wall.
Fetch her some sort of clothing. He'll take he has a night watch, so he'll take his night watcher anyway. He'll take his warm cloak. It's really not been used because it's been so warm, and you hand it to her.
All right, Bree will put it on.
Sure. This guy's in here rummaging for more of Bree's spare clothes, if she has any.
Sure. Bree has her backpack with her stuff in there. So, and her normal clothes were left behind.
Another one will come and run and like call out to Alaric and his cohorts there that Lady Bree has climbed over the northern wall here.
Well, there you go.
She looks like hell.
We have a front gate.
We do.
I suppose after telling him that. He'll sort of just look at her, wrapped in the cloak. What does Bree look like? Sort of.
Bree does not look bloodied or much in the way of bruised beyond her numerous scars that decorate her body. She certainly is the shortest among individuals presented here, though, I mean, could very well just be that all she needs is a few more inches and she would properly reach adult height. Now wearing the cloak, she does have a bit of clothes on. Her mental and physical fatigue is evident on her face, but along with that, a genuine happiness and like that obnoxious like arrogance of either like children who think they're awesome or royalty who know they're awesome is also evident on her face. Her normal treacherous deception is probably not being used, or either it's the best ruse ever.
Yeah. Cart just sort of goes and moves up to the tower to avoid any sort of conversation that might occur. She stands there wrapped in the cloak as the others, I assume, arrive. The guard having a little trouble finding her stuff, and like he doesn't really want to look in the wrong place because then you get in trouble. And
Alaric is, as always nowadays, quiet and just looks at Bree waiting for some form of explanation.
Bree's eyes flit slowly around, settle on Alaric and say, "You know, I could have walked down there. We didn't have to have a talk on the castle wall."
Alaric just looks at her and says, "True, but I'd like to know what you found out first. They could arrive in a minute."
Bree looks over the wall. "No, not for a bit."
Alaric like gestures behind him along the wall. Let's go on then.
Bree says, "I need a table to put the stuff down on anyway. It would be awkward if I put it on the wall itself. It might break."
Stuff?
Bree points to the one thing that she did come with, like a little satchel carrying case.
Alaric frowns.
"Yes. Oh, very interesting. I did not think we would have so many days. I thought the first attack would come sooner."
Too busy getting drunk, I'm sure.
Oh, yes, very much so. They like Reach wine, apparently.
It is the best.
They might not like it so much now.
Alaric kind of gives her the look of, "Did you do what I think you did?"
Bree overlooks that look and says, "Did Kevin make it back safely?"
Yes.
Kevin, who is sitting by a small campfire, like outside, you know.
Bree calls out, "Hey, Kevin! They're looking for you."
Kevin looks up from like his grilled fish or whatever he's eating, and he waves back and says, "Lady Bree, yes, I outran them and killed two of them that ran a bit faster."
"That is very good. I was worried about you."
He smiles, said, "Thanks.
"I could not have
frowns.
saved you from that many."
That's okay, Lady Bree. Thank you. Did you? Well, I heard of your handiwork."
"I don't know what you're talking about," Bree says, knowing perfectly well and looking like she knows perfectly well.
Kevin nods. Okay.
Bree like moves over to like the rubble, like grabs like a small table that doesn't have all four of its legs broken. Puts it here. leans against it heavily.
We'll give her a moment and then hand a fish her way if she's hungry.
He says, "Oh no, I've had plenty to eat in the camp. Thank you."
You know, okay.
Plucks the fish from your hand.
Oh. Mumbles.
Let's see here. I should get this out of the way. I need to rest for a bit. All right. So, like, Bree, like, opens up the little carrying case. First up, not going to be something I don't even... Oh, no, Varen wouldn't be able to read this, but this comes from very trusted individuals. I asked a few people, and they confirmed that this is what it said. And Bree will pull out, first from the little satchel case, several sheets of paper. I don't know exactly how they would look, Manica.
Well, they are sort of in a little leather folder. It's sort of nice and black, and has a few different sort of symbols burned into it. It is like a bird of some sort, and like a ship with a big red sail and whatnot. And inside, well, you see some very, very nice looking pieces of paper with weird scribbles in a language. I don't think any of you, well, no, I don't think any of you would really understand it. How much does Varen speak Valerian?
I mean, fluent, but it probably like recognizes the symbols, but it can't.
Do you read it?
No.
All right. Well, yeah. This is definitely the Valerian of the Free Cities. All right.
Yeah.
But what it says, you don't know. But it certainly has that sort of nice, really